Market update for the first week of December. We are doing okay. It wasn't that profitable as a week. I didn't make as much money as I thought I would. And there are definitely weeks like this where I think I'm gonna make a fuck ton of money and it kind of comes out to be mediocre. But we still made money. We still in the green. We still got the dopamine. And I'm gonna tell you something about trading stocks. It never goes how you want it to. Whenever you jump into a stock position, you have a 50-50% chance of winning it, okay? So a lot of people think that trading stocks is gambling, but you have indicators. You have VWAP, you have Bollinger Bands, you have EMA, you have RSI, you have MACD, you have all these things that give you an extra 10%. If you follow the news, you follow the trends, you get an extra 10%. If you're a good trader, you can get about a 70% win rate. And what the beautiful thing is about options is, when you enter an options position, you can only lose what you put in. Whether that's $100, whether that's $1,000, whether that's $100,000. But your potential profits are technically infinite. So the good thing about trading options is you can start to control your losses at 20-30% per trade, but you can really start to scrape out your wins at 50, 100, 200%. And that's the psychology of trading options. Your wins have to be big, your losses have to be controlled. Controlling your losses is very important when it comes to options. If you have long-term option swings, yes, your positions can go down to zero, but you have to be good at knowing when they're gonna pop back up, and you have to be good at evaluating risk. I do two types of option positions, okay? I do my short-term options positions where I take scalps and I don't let them go typically under 30%. But my long-term swings, I let them go to zero sometimes, and sometimes they pop back up. But if you really want to make a lot of money when it comes to trading, okay, if you're struggling at trading right now, if you're not doing well, I want to give you guys a couple of tips. First and foremost, paper trade. I know it sounds dumb, I know it sounds lame, but please paper trade until you become consistent with trading. You know how many people jump into these funded accounts and they end up losing a lot of money? Because funded accounts are only going to make money for the company when you lose money, okay? There's something called an evaluation fees, there's reset fees, and that's how they make their money. All these people, all these traders I see on the internet like, oh, 40% off funded accounts. Yo, y'all are selling your ass. You're selling your asshole, you know? That's what you're doing. You're hurting other traders and you're encouraging them to become unprofitable when they could just be paper trading. They could just be trading, you know, simulated money. That's the same thing they're doing in Top Step, the same thing they're doing in Apex. When your guys are jumping into these funded accounts, I'm telling you, the only way that company makes money is if you're losing money. So when you're jumping into a business model that's predicated on you losing money, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? You're probably gonna lose money. I don't recommend jumping into funded accounts. I'm not a big believer in them. Paper trade, save a little bit of money, and then jump into your own trades. And if you don't have the buying power, if you don't have the funds to do this, that, and the third, chill out, wait, it's okay. Slow money is better than no money. This week, I did not make a lot of money. I really was not that profitable when it came to trading, but guess what? At the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Some weeks I'm gonna make a lot, some weeks I'm gonna make a little, some weeks I might lose money, and that is perfectly fine. You've gotta understand that trading is a very volatile thing. It's an up and down process. Not everybody is gonna win, not everybody is gonna have a magical, wonderful up and down trajectory, not everybody is gonna be able to make 10 bandos a day. Hey, got a little bit of cash on me. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that, okay? By the way, I never keep cash on me. Just have this for an occasion. But long story short, guys, a lot of traders give up. A lot of people just, you know, they get upset because they're not growing as quickly as they need to be. Size your position smaller. If you're not winning trades, if you're not getting where you need to be in terms of profitability, then size your position smaller. And I'm gonna tell you why the backwards philosophy works better. When you full port your account, you are risking everything. You are risking so much to be able to make a little, and I know a lot of people that leverage this strategy where they throw a large position in and they only need to think in their head that they need to make 5 to 10%. But if that goes backwards on you, you are losing 5 to 10%. You can potentially lose 20 to 30 to 40% of your account if it goes back very quickly. So I know a lot of guys that full port their account every single trade and they make a little bit of money, but once a trade goes back or it starts going backwards, it's game over. My best advice to you guys is paper trade until you get it down. Join a community, paper trade their trades. You don't pay for trades, pay for access, pay for signals, and then join and learn and then see what those traders are doing. Try to jump into the reversals, try to jump into the momentum trades, try to jump into the news trades that they have, and then really try to get a strategy down for yourself and then start to push it. Most people end up losing a lot of money in the stock market because they don't follow a proven strategy. They don't have a system. There's a lot of situations where I think a trade is gonna go this way, and I do everything correctly and it does not work. And I have to cut it because of my system. And there are some situations where even my system triggers something, right? I might be at under 30%, but I still think the trade is gonna pop up and I have to get out because I'm disciplined, I'm focused. I can't let myself get carried away. I cannot trade on my emotions. That's a very, very bad thing to do. When you know the trade's not gonna work in your favor, cut it out, be done, let go, that's it, it's over. This is the secret of trading. This is what no one's gonna tell you. Sometimes you have to be willing to lose trades that you think you're gonna win because they invalidate your system. They invalidate the way that you typically trade. I do a lot of reversals. I do a lot of momentum swings. And if the trade goes under 30%, 40% for my stop loss, I'm out of the trade. I really am out of the trade, even if it could potentially relapse. For my long-term swings, I keep my position. I let them die no matter what. Sometimes I've had long-term swings that have been at zero and they pop all the way back up. I just had one recently with Walmart. It went all the way back up when it was at zero. So I have a formula, I have a system, and that's why I'm consistently consistent every single week. Even though I'm not winning big this week, we didn't hit a crazy amount of profit, we cleaned up pretty nice at the end, we still made money. We still good. We still good.
You still good.
If you guys like my videos, if you want to learn more about me trading, if you want to see me trade live every single day at 9:30 EST, click the link down below, join my Discord, check me out, holler at your boy, and I'd love to put you on some sauce. I'd love to give you access to my options trades, and I'd love to see you make money with our trading community. Till next time, guys, sue me.